Vicar of the Chapel, Reverend Canon Jacob Ibiatan, in a sermon on walking worthy of God's calling, admonished Christians to strive to honor and please God in everything they do. He told them to make frantic effort to serve their Creator and learn to demonstrate patience, humility, gentleness, and love. The triumphant entry of Jesus Christ into Jerusalem, the vicar re-echoed, broke every barrier and bondage and advised Christians to look up to God for help, no matter the circumstance. In Abuja, Charles Alpha, NTA News.
What a day today is, and Reverend Canon Jacob Ibieton of NTA Chapel of Resurrection is with me in the studio to talk about the triumphant entry of Jesus Christ on today, Palm Sunday. Let's start this way. Can you tell us the significance of Palm Sunday to Christendom?
Thank you very much, sir. We thank God for today. It's a glorious day in the Church of God, and it is Palm Sunday, which is the triumphant entry of Christ into Jerusalem. That symbolizes victory, conclusive success, conquest, total defeat, among others. The people welcome Jesus into Jerusalem as a sign of joy that Jesus, the Messiah and mighty deliverer, has come, and that as he has come, he will later come as king. He has come as the Messiah to save the world, the Savior of the world, the one who has broken every barrier, not minding our differences, not minding our nationality, not minding our circumstances. He broke barrier. And that is why the word triumpher is used to signify what Jesus has done for us on a day like this. And with that barrier, we all have access into God's presence, not minding the circumstance and not minding our inabilities. Jesus has been able to do it. And because Jesus is also a man of peace, what has happened today is also telling us that the peace of God is possible no matter what, whether among our friends, among our relations, among our colleagues and business associates, among members of the church, and among our colleagues in our workplace. This is made possible because of a glorious day like this, which Jesus has actualized with his triumphant entry into Jerusalem.
Now, having said this, what is the inextricable linkage between the Palm Sunday, the Easter, and also Ash Wednesday?
Thank you, sir. Ash Wednesday is the beginning of Lent. And when you also talk of Palm Sunday today, which we have said is the triumphant entry of Christ, Easter is the celebration of victory. Because on that day, Jesus actually rose from the dead. He triumphed over the grave. Because after that, people said, crucify him, and he was crucified, he was arrested, he was tried, he died, and was buried. Nevertheless, he rose from the grave. And so when we link these together, we will see that no matter what, no matter the situation, no matter the circumstance, we can overcome. And in Lent, which is not only associated, which is only associated with both prayer and fasting, we look unto God. We confess our sins. We ask God to visit us. And on a day like this, we record the victorious activities of Christ. And on the Easter, which is the climax, is the celebration of the victory in totality that Jesus actualized. The people thought Jesus will remain in the grave. But it came to turn out that the thing worked against them, and Jesus triumphed. And then today we can rejoice. We can celebrate that victory. And that has given us, actually removed all limitations that could come our way, because Jesus has done it all.
Reverend Canon Jacob Ibieton, we thank you for coming on Nationwide today.
Thank you, thank you, sir.
I've been conversing with Reverend Canon Jacob Ibieton, the Vicar, Chapel of Resurrection of the Nigerian Television Authority, and today, and the importance of Palm Sunday. in our daily lives. Let's move on to other stories on Nationwide today. Determined to bring to a permanent end the Boko Haram menace in the Sahel region, a high-level strategic engagement has been held between President Muhammadu Buhari and his Chadian counterpart, Idris Deby Itno. Their discussions also centered on the imperative of recharging the receding Lake Chad. State House correspondent Adamu Sambu has the report.
Coming to Nigeria for the first time since his country bestowed on him an honor of a field marshal, President Idris Deby Itno of Chad is also here to formally engage President Muhammadu Buhari for the first time in nearly 2 years. The last time the two leaders met was in June 2019 on the sidelines of the OIC summit in Mecca, Saudi Arabia. And just like in Saudi, discussions held behind closed doors centered on the challenges of security bedeviling their countries and the entire Sahel region, as well as the necessity of water transfer into Lake Chad from the Congo Basin. As President Muhammadu Buhari said, about 30 million people are adversely affected by the worrisome state of Lake Chad, which shrunk to just about 10% of its original size. He said with inter-basin water transfer, the people depending on the lake can resume their normal lives in farming, fishing, and animal husbandry, while irregular migration of youth to Europe for greener pastures will be curtailed, as explained by Foreign Affairs Minister Jeffrey Onyema.
It's something that's going to be very capital intensive, cost a lot of money, and we're going to have to depend on technical partners, financial institutions, and other partners to help to finance this. That it's something that is not just for Africans, the impact on it, the environmental impact of a shrinking Lake Chad, but it affects humanity. And so everybody has to really mobilize to find the means to be able to carry out this recharging, and the beneficiaries will be the whole of humanity. So the hope is there that we will achieve this, but the challenge is for us to be able to now realize the dream of recharging Lake Chad.
President Buhari also appreciated Chad for its role in curbing insurgency in the region, particularly the Boko Haram challenge. Addressing newsmen, the Chadian leader Idris Deby Itno thanked President Buhari for rejigging the armed forces of Nigeria, describing it as critical to the fight against terrorism and insurgency.
Au niveau de Boko Haram et État islamique de l'Afrique de l'Ouest.
Boko Haram is indeed an evil that has hampered the 4 countries of the Lake Chad Basin and that has done many harm to our populations. The multinational Joint Task Force has had good results. Unfortunately, the resiliency of Boko Haram and the Islamic State in the Lake Chad Basin has been unprecedented. They are being supplied and being trained and being formed through Libya. With the new team of the Chief Defense Staff and the new commander that has been appointed at the multinational Joint Task Force, we're convinced that we can eradicate Boko Haram. There's a lot of hope on this new team with this new strategy. I remain confident that the 4 armies of the 4 countries can finish this evil and eradicate Boko Haram once for all.
In addition to challenges of security, other bilateral issues were also explored by the two leaders. President Buhari wished his Chadian counterpart well in his country's general elections coming up next month. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
The Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, says 2 towers along the Damaturu-Maiduguri 330 kV transmission line has again been vandalized by insurgents less than 24 hours after power supply was restored to Maiduguri, the Borno state capital. The incident, which occurred in the early hours of Saturday, again cut power supply to Maiduguri and its environs. TCN says this time the insurgents bombed 2 other towers, T152 and T153, along the same line route of the other incidents that left Maiduguri and environs without power supply for 2 months. TCN assures that it will continue to do all that it can to ensure power supply is restored to the affected areas. In continuation of ongoing investigation into the reported attack and attempted murder of Governor of Benue State, Samuel Otom, a special investigation task force set up by the Inspector General of Police, IGP Mohammed Adamu, has arrived in Makudi, the Benue State capital. The team, led by Deputy Commissioner of Police Abba Kiari, consists of operatives from the Tactical Investigation Units of the force, Intelligence Bureau and other experienced crack detectives, is expected to take over and consolidate all ongoing investigation into the incident. The team is also expected to investigate all angles of the reported attack with a view to ensuring that all persons empirically linked to the incident are apprehended and brought to book. They are expected to liaise and work with the Benue State Police Command and other relevant members of the law enforcement community to ensure that they deliver on their mandate. The Nigerian Navy says it has expanded its policy and operations to effectively tackle insecurity in the maritime space. Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Awwal Gambo, who said this during his familiarization tour of units and establishments at the Eastern Naval Command in Calabar, notes that the action is in line with President Muhammadu Buhari's order to restore the nation's security. Justina Etim reports.
The familiarization visits took the Chief of Naval Staff to units and establishments, which include the Nigerian Navy Secondary School, Akbabuyo, the sites for the proposed Naval War College, the Nigerian Navy Reference Hospital, and more. Addressing officers and ratings, the Chief of Naval Staff harps on professionalism and integrity, warning that the Nigerian Navy will not hesitate to sanction personnel who collude with criminal elements to perpetrate oil thefts, kidnapping, economic sabotage, and other crimes within the maritime space.
We intend to fill the gaps where we observe operationally, because our operations are very dynamic, and we re-strategize as the challenges vary.
The Chief of Naval Staff also disclosed that the Nigerian Navy will ensure the upgrade of facilities and equipment at the reference hospital, as well as capacity building of personnel.
I shall ensure our engineering personnel are availed requisite training, facility upgrade and repair kits to enable them undertake basic first-line maintenance.
The Chief of Naval Staff also reiterates that personnel who excel in their duties will be rewarded. In Calabar, Justina Etam, NTA News.
Lagos is the first port of call where Jennifer is standing by with latest stories from that end. Hello, Jennifer.
Thank you, Ayodeji. Now, still on Palm Sunday, most Christians in Lagos commemorated this year's Palm Sunday physically in places of worship, but without the usual procession that portrayed the triumphant entry of Jesus Christ into Jerusalem. Amaka Owu reports.
It is another Palm Sunday, and just a few worshippers were seen performing the procession that usually keeps the city at a standstill.
It's a miracle that we're able to receive the body of Christ during the celebration of Mass this year.
To look forward to that procession, which really reminds us as to what happened on that day, and also puts us in the mood for the Easter period. However, this has been curtailed, not deliberately, but for the good of mankind.
The palm itself represents victory. The death of Jesus is victory over death, victory over sin, and a call to joy and happiness in God who wills our salvation.
The Palm Sunday best reflects the humility of Jesus Christ, victory, freedom, and peace he brought to mankind as he rode on a donkey.
We who are citizens of the New Jerusalem, we must have pure, innocent hearts.
Jesus Christ rode in an ass to show humility, that every king, every highly placed somebody must be humble and he also rode in an ass to show peace. And he went, boldly for the salvation of man.
Palm Sunday is unique to Christendom as it marks the first day of the Holy Week and last period of the Lenten season. In Lagos, Amaka O, NTA News.
Away from Palm Sunday, the gridlock at the Apapa corridor as a result of yard occupancy and congestion in accessing the ports in Lagos necessitated a recent notice of non-receipt of cargoes by the Nigerian Ports Authority for the next 14 days. Stakeholders are therefore deliberating on how to achieve a more organized system and robust export arrangement and execution. Imole Ayotokude, Ogufunwora reports.
Samuel Adegoju and Mohammed Daisk are exporters among other representatives from customs, terminal and barge operators, shippers, and freight forwarders present at the meeting. They took turns to identify some of the challenges they face while assessing the port, thereby making appropriate recommendations.
Actually, we are losing. We lost millions of dollars. There's an opportunity to have two inspection agents, different ports, for different.
The executive director of the Nigerian Export Promotion Council, Olusegun Awolowo, stated that the federal government has been making frantic efforts on an holistic approach to ensure business activities are seamless and devoid of liabilities that can make doing business in Nigeria a nightmare.
The federal government is also concentrating more on roads, on the rail. So we will now be able to move goods by rail as we were doing in the past in Nigeria.
We're going to do an advertisement which would now seek in expressions of interest for owners of such facilities that are big enough to be designated as export processing terminals. And those locations will be inspected by the agencies, and those locations will be where you can have your warehouse, do your stuffing, do your consolidation, and inspections will be done there, and everything will be sealed in that premise.
It is expected that a seamless process on how exporters will get their containers with genuine and correct documents to the port will be achieved. In Lagos, Imole Ayotokude, Ogunfowora, NTA News.
We have more on the news, but we'll take a break now, after which Ayodeji Makinde in Abuja will continue. Stay with us.
I bring you wonderful news. The village headmaster is coming back to your screen. Mo wire abi mi o wire. Teacher yo mo, a fẹ́ lọ wá nǹkan jẹ. Teacher yo mo, a fẹ́ lọ wá nǹkan jẹ. Ọmọ onírẹsì ti dé.
Ajebo na better school for Las Gidi. Not be all this on a rugged, yes school for Ijabi. I don't know for you.
Second, it's called Oja Village. Kadesi, we no happy at all.
And I know that even you too, you are getting a lot of orders too. Hey, we are trying, Shao. Sweep her leg out. She was standing there. Sweep it.
I love you so much.
And how did I give you the impression that I was interested in that position?
50-year anniversary.
You mean anniversary?
I talk with that now.
Not for me. You want make I die? Not for me because of Pamio.
You're welcome back. The Nigeria Governors Forum has described as malicious and libelous the publication of 26 March 2021 by Sahara Reporters online newspaper tagged exclusive for the demand of 10% on the 159 billion refund to Paris Club. The forum dispelled the purported story, which is intended to smear the image of its chairman and governor of Ekiti State, Dr. Kayode Fayemi, and demanded retraction of the fake news within 24 hours and the tender of an apology, or will be compelled to seek legal redress in the law courts. NGF says the baseless, unfounded and untrue tale would have been ignored, but for the purpose of setting the record straight, it becomes necessary to react to the publication and regrets the lack of factuality in the medium claims. ECOWAS Parliament has initiated mechanisms to improve remittance of community levy by member states needed to fund ECOWAS projects and institutions. NTA Fine Face reports that this was at a parliamentary seminar in Freetown, Sierra Leone.
The protocol relating to community levy for ECOWAS is an agreement reached by member states to make voluntary contributions to generate revenue to enable ECOWAS sufficiently finance its institutions and projects. Owing, however, to peculiar economic challenges and the COVID-19 pandemic, the expected remittances are not being made by member states. This seminar highlights the role of ECOWAS Parliament in improving contributions to the community levy. Speaker Sidi Mohammed Tunis said the community levy is needed to implement regional programs targeted at fostering the integration process by improving the livelihoods of the people in the sub-region.
With a concerted effort, we can succeed in getting our states to honor the protocols and declarations we have signed up to. The ECOWAS Parliament stands prepared to follow up on the recommendations emanating from these discussions and support the Commission and other institutions in ways that guarantee robust actions aimed at mobilizing all member states to fulfill their obligations to the community.
Parliament recommended leveraging existing rules on community levy to achieve positive response, but insisted that issues around sanctions for non-compliance are to be determined by the authority of heads of state and government. Onengiye Fine Face, NTA News.
Towards actualizing the at-risk children project in Gombe State, the Special Advisor to President on Social Investments, Mariam Uwais, has undertaken a tour of available facilities. Zahara Umar Adamu reports.
The At-Risk Children Project of the federal government is aimed at ensuring children and youth are given the rights and freedom they desire through family health care, primary education, empowerment, agriculture and other fields. The program, intended to engage children in literacy and numeracy, will also introduce relevant vocations with off-takers in Gombe State who will patronize the work being created by their expertise.
For the Almajiri system, even the Malams, let's understand what else they do apart from teaching these children. So if they're doing farming, how do we enhance their productivity?
The tour of available facilities at Government Science Technical College Gombe, Rice and Oil Processing Mill, Drug Rehabilitation Center of the National Drugs Law Enforcement Agency, Poultry Unit, and other required facilities will ensure takeoff of the project in Gombe State. With a view to achieving successful implementation of the project, the Governor's Wife Joel Care Foundation will play a role in ensuring full participation of women, children, and youth in Gombe State.
As the founder of the Joy Care Foundation, our mission is to empower women and educate the girl child. With this, in collaboration with the At-Risk project, it's really going to be of great help.
The At-Risk Children Project will reduce poverty, remove children from streets, and proffer strategic economic development plans, especially in the rural communities. Zara Umar Adam, NTA News.
Mohammed is in our Maiduguri Network Center and he has the next set of reports. Good evening, Mohammed.
Good evening, Ayodeji. Looking good. Thank you and welcome to Maiduguri. Borno State government has been called upon to ensure compliance with engineering specifications in the construction of Borno State University Teaching Hospital and College of Medical Sciences. High-powered Committee on Establishment of the State University Teaching Hospital and College of Medical Sciences through its chairman, Professor Othman Kyari, made the call as part of its recommendations while submitting report to Governor Babagana Umar Zulum at the Government House, Maiduguri. Mohammed Goni reports.
The High-Powered Committee for Establishment of Borno State University Teaching Hospital and the College of Medical Science was inaugurated in November last year with 11-point terms of reference. To accomplish its assignment, the committee chairman, Professor Othman Kyari, said many teaching hospitals and medical colleges were visited to appraise their setup in terms of physical structures, staff disposition and training, among others, and adopted the UMTH modified template because it has the best infrastructure layout to design the new Bosu Teaching Hospital.
The committee worked on the template to overcome challenges that we observed over years and to improve on the model.
The committee also suggested that the medical college be named Borno State College of Health Science. Announced that the committee saw the need to enter into memorandum of understanding with institutions visited on manpower training and development to meet the critical manpower needs for the take-up of the teaching hospital and the college. The committee advised that the 600 capacity teaching hospital be constructed in 2 phases, commencing with 400 beds, and engage the service of biomedical engineer to ensure standard work. Governor Babagana Umar lauded efforts of the committee, including leadership and members of the 2 subcommittees, for their sacrifices to ensure realization of the 2 projects. The governor noted the earlier interim report received, upon which the work commenced on accident and emergency, as well as outpatient department, which will be completed this year.
This committee has to proceed with your good works in ensuring the implementation of your laudable recommendations. Government will, as from today, start studying the recommendations.
The governor, who stressed commitment to completing the 2 projects, also announced that plans are underway to start the second phase of the project, comprising medical and surgery complex, among others, and further assured to engage the service of biomedical consultants. In Maiduguri, Mohammed Goni, NTA News.
In the meantime, High-Powered Committee on Reformation of Sangha Education System has submitted its report with a call on the state government to create Islamia and Sangha Education Board as part of its recommendations. Chairman of the committee, Khalifa Ali Ahmed Abdul Fatai, submitted the report to Governor Babagana Umar Zulum at the Government House, Maiduguri. Again, Mohammed Goni reports.
The Reformation of Sangha Education System was inaugurated in November 2020. To offer recommendations on how the age-long Sangha system will be reformed. Chairman of the committee, Khalifa Ali Ahmed Abdul Fatai, informed the governor that the committee had visited different places and met with different stakeholders, including the Shehu of Borno and other traditional leaders. He added that the committee had, in the course of its assignment, held public hearing and received memoranda, at the end of which a wide range of recommendations were offered.
When implemented, will bring positive change to the Sangha system of education.
The chairman thanked Governor Zulum for finding them worthy for the job. Governor Babagana Umar applauded the committee for what he referred to as diligent work, which produced a 76-page document, assuring that government will study the report with a view to implementing some of its recommendations.
Streamlining the non-formal educational system into the formal educational system is something very important, because those children that have studied in the Sangha system of education are willing to further their education.
Governor Babagana Umar assured that the state government will partner with all the relevant agencies to ensure that products of Sangha system further their education. In Maiduguri, Mohammed Goni, NTA News.
Those are the stories from Maiduguri Nationwide this Sunday. It's back to Ayodeji in Abuja.
Thanks, Mohammed. Appreciate the compliment. Let's further tell you that modern scientific discoveries have proven that it is possible to achieve frequency stability of the long-term evolution of spectrum between the mobile and broadcast mast signals in a digital world. Abdurrahman Usman Jibrila reports that this came to the fore during the fellowship conferment and awards session organized by the Nigeria Institute for Electrical and Electronic Engineers.
These are the 24 engineers conferred with the Fellowship Award of the Nigeria Institute for Electrical and Electronic Engineers. and the Executive Director Engineering NTA, Stephen Moses Okpanachi, is among the awardees.
Not an award to me, but an award to Nigerian Television Authority.
In a lecture presented on the latest discovery to hinder the continued interference of signal spectrum between the signal waves of mobile and broadcast masts by Stephen Okpanachi, put the research outcome into perspective.
It is feasible in Nigeria to coexist together. So in other words, we could now effectively and efficiently utilize the frequency spectrum for the benefit of mankind.
Some of the awardees say the development will inspire massive participation that will improve operations of service providers for maximum impact and appreciate the honor which will spur them for greater performance.
The challenge ahead is that for engineers, there will always be problems. So as we solve one problem, or other problem will still come.
We need to be more visible. We need to showcase our excellence. We need to showcase our competence to the world.
Stakeholders believe that harmonization of the frequency spectrum will expand the digital space and provide job opportunities to millions of Nigerians and beyond. In Abuja, Abramanus Jibrila, NTA News.
The federal government is living up to its determination towards the maintenance and rehabilitation of all federal roads across the country. These efforts have been sustained with the activities of the Federal Road Maintenance Agency, FERMA, in Delta State. Thelma Eliogu reports that most of the major highways in the state have received facelifts.
The Asaba-Ila-Ebu Road is one of the roads currently receiving attention from FEMA. Prior to now, the road had been in deplorable state due to the pressure from Abuja-bound heavy-duty vehicles that ply the route on daily basis. Other commuters, such as indigenes of towns along the axis, farmers and market people, found it difficult to navigate through the failed portions of the road, hence the patching activities by the Federal Road Maintenance Agency, FEMA.
Now the road is normal now. Before nobody they pass them.
But I'm very happy now seeing you guys working and doing a good job. I'm very, very proud.
Before, the potholes inside the road is too much.
The agency is constructing a relief box curve, stone pitching and embankment to fortify the bridge on Asaba-Anwa-Ela Road. Intervention is also ongoing at the Benin-Asaba Expressway, where more than 3 kilometers of the road is being rehabilitated.
Sometimes you patch a road, and if you don't strengthen it, other sections of the road will also develop failures. So this intervention will increase the lifespan of this road.
FEMA has also begun intervention at the Warri bypass from MPA to DSC and Warri Eku Abraka section. It assures of moving on to Warri Sapele Benin Road, as well as addressing failed spots at the delta end of the Onitsha bridgehead. Before now, this road was a nightmare to both commuters and transporters. But with this latest development, they sure are heaving a sigh of relief. From Benin Asaba Expressway, I am Thelma Eliog, NTA News.
Regular exercise, detoxification, good nutrition, forgiveness, and good stress management mechanism have been identified as some of the best ways to build one's immune system. This came to the fore at a lecture organized to educate the public on how best to strengthen their immune system in the COVID-19 era. Thomas Ogbetere reports.
Building one's immunity enables the antibodies in human system function optimally, especially in fighting against diseases. Delivering a lecture on how to build the immune system, a medical doctor, John Ogbeji, and a cleric, Moses Uche, say, avoiding anger and bitterness, rejoicing even in the midst of uncertainties, drinking water regularly, having a good sleep, eating fruits and living a good lifestyle will not only help in building one's immune system, but also age longevity.
Man is actually born to live and die. How well you live or how soon you die depends on your lifestyle.
Anger destroys the heart and destroys the liver,
in kidney. Malice does the same thing. Some participants who admitted that the lecture was an eye-opener also promised to adjust their lifestyle so as to enjoy good health.
A lot of people die suddenly and they don't know that the death did not start that day.
Building our immune system is very important for every age.
So I had to kind of change my way of life. You kept hearing the doctors saying something about system of living of every individual is very, very important.
The major take-home for most participants at the lecture is that building one's immune system is critical to healthy living. In Abuja, Thomas Obeteri, NTA News.
The Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, has announced 101 new cases of COVID-19 in the country. The breakdown shows that Lagos has 32 cases, Abia 16, Ebonyi 14, FCT 10, Bayelsa and Rivers 6 cases each, Bauchi 5, Jigawa 4, Oyo and Akwa Ibom 3 cases each, and Osun 2. There are now 162,489 confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Nigeria, out of which 150,205 cases have been discharged, while 2,041 persons have died of the virus in the country. It's now time to go over to our Enugu Network Center, where Mina is standing by. Hello, Mina.
Hello, Ayo. Good evening and welcome to Enugu. The Enugu State Government has promised to study and implement as appropriate the recommendations of the Administrative Panel of Inquiry into the hijacked EndSARS protests of October 2020. Governor Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi made the promise when he received the report of the panel at the Government House, Enugu. Susan Eze has details.
The year 2020 EndSARS protest and the mayhem caused by the hijackers of the peaceful exercise may have come and gone, but the scars and losses suffered by victims and the society at large are painful reminders of the ugly incident. To investigate and determine compensations payable to victims of the incident in Enugu State, a panel was set up by the state government to carry out this task. Work completed, the report of the 9-man panel headed by retired Justice Frederick Obieze is here presented to the governor.
We are also ready to carry out any other assignment, especially to make sure that the compensations which may be approved by Your Excellency will get to the beneficiaries.
The governor also appreciated victims of the mayhem and the entire people of the state for their patience and cooperation during the pendency of the assignment.
It is my hope that the findings and recommendations of this panel, as well as the consequential government action, will mitigate the pains of the loss of lives of private citizens and security personnel.
Set up in October 2020, the panel, which had an initial 60 days duration to complete the job, sought and got an extension in Enugu. Susan Eze, NTA News.
To make the youths in Enugu State become globally competitive in the technology and innovation space, the state government has established technology hubs and youth innovation centers in the state. Inaugurating the tech hubs, Governor Ugwuanyi expressed confidence that the centers will provide the environment for the youths to deploy their skills in science and technology. Again, Susan Eze has details.
Programmed to offer services such as ICT training in software development, website design and hosting, graphic designs, craftsmanship and fabrication, among other services. The Tech Hub is expected to change the narrative in line with emerging trends in a digital economy. Governor Ugwuanyi is confident that the state and indeed the nation will soon reap the fruits of this investment.
Today's event is therefore a watershed in the concerted efforts
of our administration to create new opportunities and expand existing ones for our youths and other citizens. The envisaged productive engagement of our youth will also reduce youth restiveness and promote security.
Other stakeholders also lauded the investment in human capital, describing it as a worthy venture.
As we speak, some science and technology subject teachers across our secondary schools, as well as technical vocational colleges, have been profiled and are here today as the first set of government personnel to benefit from ICT training from the Tech Hub.
Youths in the state were enjoined to tap from the benefits of the Tech Hub. In Enugu, Susan Eze, NTA News.
That's a bit from Enugu Nationwide continues in Makodi with Susan after the break.
Contemporary times require practical skills to remain competitive and relevant in your organization. Therefore, take advantage of NTA TV College short proficiency courses to sharpen your professional skills. Basic Broadcast Accounting and Auditing. Date 19th April to 30th April 2021. 2 weeks. Audio Engineering, Operations and Maintenance. Date 19th April to 23rd April 2021. 1 week. Protocol, Event Management and Public Relations. Date 3rd May to 14th May 2021. 2 weeks. Intermediate Camera Operation Techniques. Date 17th May to 11th June 2021. 4 weeks. The course fee for the 4-week course is 100,000 naira per participant. The fee for the 2-week course is 80,000 naira, while the course fee for the 1-week course is 40,000 naira only. Accommodation inclusive. Venue for all the courses is the serene and secure environment of NTA TV College near Old Government House, Rayfield, Jos. For more inquiries, please call 0803-314-4383 or 0806-980-9807. NTA TV College, Jos. Training you to be the best you want to be.
A 24-hour news station brings to you news and happenings 7 days a week.
News at 10 a.m., news update at 11 and 1 p.m.
News desk at 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. and late evening news at 11 p.m.
Follow us on any of our platforms and keep abreast of events and current affairs within and outside our shows.
We are on DSTV channel 419, GoTV channel 46,
Star Times channel 101 and Free TV channel 703.
Join us.
Thank you for joining us in Makudi. Christians in Makudi have joined their counterparts worldwide to mark Palm Sunday, where the Catholic Bishop of Makudi Diocese, Most Reverend Wilfred Chipa Anagbe, urged them to emulate the virtues of Jesus Christ, which are love and humility, that led him to die on the cross for humanity. Sandra Dowese Akeme has details of Palm Sunday services in Makudi, the Benue State capital.
residents of Makurdi metropolis took over the streets in procession to commemorate the triumphant entry of Christ into Jerusalem. Clergy in various churches advised the congregants to seek to know Jesus more, especially in times like this, which will make their lives better.
Who are you to Jesus? Are you like Peter or Judas? So, within this week, I ask every Christian to meditate on what aspect of the suffering of Jesus that made meaning to him, so that it can be let us enthrone Jesus in our families and in our lives, and our society will be better.
We learn to follow his example of obedience and humility.
This celebration was done with the blessing and distribution of palm branches, which is a symbol of victory, triumph, peace, and eternal life.
All those sins that we have been committing, he has taken them away, and we should try as much as possible to be clean.
It's supposed to prepare us that anytime we're supposed to leave this world, so we prepare our lives so that at the end of the day, we are going to have a triumphant entry to God into heaven too.
Palm Sunday is the last Sunday of Lent. The beginning of Holy Week reminds Christians of the triumphant arrival of Christ in Jerusalem, days before he was crucified. In Makurdi, Sandra Dowesi Akeme, NTA News.
The Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Oladayo Amo, has expressed his determination to work closely with Operation Wellstroke towards tackling various security challenges in the state. He gave the assurance during the visit to Governor Samuel Otom in Makurdi. Charles Abba has details.
The Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Oladayo Amao, who indicated that as a one-time air officer commanding Tactical Air Command Makurdi, he is aware of the security challenges being experienced in Benue. He therefore gave the assurance of synergizing with other security agencies to eliminate banditry and other crimes being perpetrated in the state. The Chief of the Air Staff also sued for peace between the Tactical Air Command and the host community to ensure its effective operation.
What I want to promise the governor is that the NAF will continue to work with the Weststroke and ensure that the state is rid of all forms of bandits and criminals.
Governor Samuel Otom, who appreciated the Air Force for the security and other developmental contributions to the state, noted that the state government will continue to support the Air Force.
Where we have found ourselves, it will require strong determination and patriotism on our part as citizens to work with the security agencies, to work with leaders from president to governors to local government chairman to traditional rulers, to all stakeholders to be able to surmount it.
The governor, however, lamented the infiltration of external bandits in the state and appealed to the Chief of the Air Staff to spread his operational tentacles to other vulnerable parts of the state. In Makurdi, Charles Abba, NTA News.
And that does it from Makurdi. It's back to Ayodeji in Abuja for more on NTA Nationwide.
Thanks, Susan. Back here in Abuja, strategic education planning to fill manpower gaps and the need for experts in skill development are submissions for the establishment of 2 federal higher institutions in Kogi State, which has received by the Senate Committee on Tertiary Institution and TET Fund. National Assembly correspondent Abdullahi Aminu has the report.
Various viewpoints by stakeholders were collectively supportive of the establishment bills. The bills seek the establishment of Steel University Ajakuta and Federal University of Education Ankpa, all in Kogi State. Issues raised by the sponsors of the bills are possible benefits derivable from the Ajakuta Steel Company and existing structures in place for the take-off of the proposed Federal University Ankpa.
We consider the memorandum of the respective organizations and associations as the basis for the actualization of this laudable exercise. We will leave it open for another 2 weeks, just in case you are not able to meet up, because we want as rich data as possible concerning this bill.
The memorandum will serve as basis of the committee's report for further legislative action by the Senate. from the National Assembly. Abdullahi Aminu, NTA News.
Learning the recitation of the glorious Quran, understanding its meanings and practicing its teachings are an easy way of addressing social ills and criminal activities bedeviling many parts of the country. Sultan of Sokoto Muhammad Sa'ad Abubakar III stated this at the closing ceremony of the 35th edition of the National Quranic Recitation Competition in Kano. Abdullahi Mustafa has details.
Muhammad Awal of Zamfara State and Nusaiba Shuaib Ahmad of Kano are the overall winners of male and female categories of the 35th edition of the National Quranic Recitation Competition held in Kano. This earned them 2.5 million naira each as star prizes from Kano State Government and slots to participate in international competitions. Sultan of Sokoto Muhammad Sa'ad Abubakar III commended the young recitation champions for their excellent performance and admonished parents to encourage their children towards learning and mastering the glorious scripture.
And what we will do as leaders, inshallah, will continue to support this Musabaqa to grow stronger and stronger and stronger.
We have made a giant stride in this direction, where the administration established the first ever Kano State Quranic and Islamia School Management Board.
Borno and Plateau are among states that won in lower categories of the competition. In Kano, Abdullahi Mustafa, NTA News.
And that report from Kano rounds off nationwide this Sunday, Palm Sunday. I'm Ayo Deji Makinde. Please remember to connect with the NTA in the fight against rape and rapists to be a star. On behalf of the entire production crew, good evening.